Yo, mic check. Welcome back to the Cruise Dynasty podcast, the number one podcast in the Southeast, in the Western Hemisphere. I got the crew with me. I got the Craft Man with me, as always. Craft Man, what's going on, man?
Sitting here watching this game, or wishing I was watching this game, watching a blank screen. But Davis Mills in the building.
Yep, I got some Thursday night football on myself. Jalen Hurts just ducked the throw, man. If you're gonna throw it to my guy, you better make a good throw. I got my homie. We go way back. C Swizzy 23, Christopher up in the building. What's going on, man?
Same, watching Thursday night football. Need Jalen Hurts to go off.
Puffing on a hybrid.
Not throw it to. Yup. I mean, as always, you know how we do it.
That's how we do. I would be doing the same, but for legal obligations, I will not be puffing on anything tonight. Yeah, we will. We just gonna break down week 9. I believe we're on week 9. A lot of bye weeks. So there's 6 teams on a bye week. Chris, I know you had that list. What was it?
6 teams. It's the Browns, the Cowboys, the Broncos, the Giants, the Steelers, and the 49ers. So everybody that's got Christian McCaffrey, out of luck this week.
Out of luck, but as long as at least he ain't getting hurt this week. So it's not all bad. But we got some big matchups to talk about this week. There's some good games to talk about. We'll just probably hit the news as we go because there was a lot of news out there. If we come across a player, we'll say what we got to say about them. Hopefully, we'll get most of it. By the way, tonight for Houston and Philly, I took the under at 45.5. Houston went down there and scored pretty quick, so I wasn't really expecting them to score that much at all. But here we go. We got let's just break down the first game, the game that's going on right now, Thursday night football. It's only in the first quarter, so we got Philly. A lot of players on Philly we want to play. Jalen Hurts, obviously. Miles Sanders in your lineups. Devontae Smith in your lineup. A.J. Brown in your lineup. Dallas Goedert in your lineup. We're playing all these Philly guys. We agree.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. They're an easy team to figure out who to play. You don't really have many question marks around them,
especially going against the 1-5-1 Houston Texans. You gotta like the matchup. Thursday night football though. Some of these games have been duds, so it's like you never know. You guys might not show out tonight. As far as Houston goes, there's only one player I want on that Houston Texans team. That's Dameon Pierce, and everybody else. I ain't playing nobody else. What you think, Kraft?
Dude, what is up with Brandon Cooks?
Brandon Cooks.
Yeah. What do you know about him? You said he just said he wasn't playing because he wanted to get traded.
Basically, he wants to get traded. He's pitching a fit because he wanted to get traded, so they didn't trade him. But the thing is like teams. If you take on Brandon Cooks, you got to take on his little deal. Next year, he's going to be getting paid $18 million. A lot of these teams don't want to pay old Brandon Cooks $18 million. I wouldn't want to do it neither. If the Falcons made a trade like that, I'd be kicking the computer and shit right now. So I don't blame anybody for not doing it. If I was a contender, I know there was like some rumors about him headed to the Chargers, stuff like that. Maybe I would have taken that contract on, but for Brandon Cooks, it's like, yo, you signed the deal before the year, so I don't know what you pitching a fit about. You got your money. You should have known that. He signed like a 3-year deal, Kraft. So it's like, what are you whining about? You got paid. You should have known you're not going to get traded. This is what you asked for.
Yeah, I don't get it either because, like you said, you're the one who signed the paper, so you can't be whining. You knew the Texans weren't a good team when you signed that paper.
Yeah. See, Swizzy, you
But
got any
what's
comments about that?
Nah, I mean, you should just play. Like I said, you sign that paper, you getting paid all this money. Shoot, give me a contract to go out there, let me catch a ball. I'll get laid out right
Shoot,
after I catch it.
I do it for 1,800, much less 18 mil. So
I know.
I wonder what poor man P Miller would do it for.
shoot, the poor man. We're
All
gonna have
right,
to bring
poor
the
man
poor
was
man.
making them nickel bets. You could probably just throw him a nickel, man.
Shoot, the way my NFL gambling's been going on, I'm gonna have to start doing me some nickel bets and stuff, try to save me some money. My college bets are on point. My NFL bets, I better hit tonight. That's all I say. That's all I'm gonna say.
Just play like a 20 team parlay with a nickel on it and see if you can just randomly hit it.
Man, dude, I was listening to a podcast the other day or today actually, and they said this dude hit like it was like a 16 leg parlay, but he lost on the very last parlay because he picked like the over rushing yards on Joe Mixon. He didn't get it.
Mm,
I was like, dang, man, that's just tough luck right
man.
there. But yeah, not much to say about this Houston Philly game. You love all the Phillies players. You only love one of
Phillies marching
Houston.
right down the field,
Yep,
too.
they
Again.
marching. So Houston, you only want Damian Pierce. Not really too much to say about those bums. But let's just take it. We'll start off from the top, man. We'll go from Monday Night Football, Baltimore to New Orleans. Lamar Jackson, obvious. Yeah, obviously playing him. Kenyon Drake. Kenyon Drake has looked surprisingly good. Gus Edwards has been banged up. I'm not really even sure he didn't practice any ahead of week 9. So Kenny Drake, that's the way to roll. And I honestly, Kenny Drake just look good to me. What you say, Kraft?
I don't know if I'd say he looked good. I think it wasn't last game. The game before, I think he had 11 carries for 9 yards. But I always like, I always like Baltimore's running back, whoever it is. This ain't the best matchup in the world, but if you have Gus Edwards, it'd be nice. I have Gus Edwards, and it would be really nice if I had Kenyon Drake and I could wait till Monday night to decide which one to play. But um,
Right.
he's a decent flex option, I think.
Yeah. Agreed. Let's see, I think I saw today that Rashad Bateman is out for the year. So Duvernay, he's been pretty solid all year, I would say, because he's a wide receiver 31 on the year. He's hit double digits in like 5 out of the 9 games. Now Rashad Bateman gone. Duvernay's okay flex play in my eyes. He even had a special teams touchdown that one day. So I guess what we need to monitor most is Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews has been banged up. I don't think he practiced today. See Swizzy, any comments on the Mark Andrews or
It's a shame that Rashad Bateman's going to be done for the year, but
right?
Duvernay has stepped up. I mean, Duvernay, even some weeks when Rashad Bateman wasn't hitting, Duvernay was going off.
Yeah,
But another thing, man, I want to see this dude J.K. Dobbins stay healthy. I want to see this dude play the whole season.
right.
I feel like I've been waiting too long to watch this dude play a full year, and it just never happens. But Mark Andrews, we got to see if he's limited in practice. Has he practiced at all this week, or has he been limited the whole time? It's
I don't even.
questionable.
I'm gonna check one more time, but I want to say he didn't practice again today. Not practicing Thursday, so right
So
now
he's
it's
not even
Thursday.
being limited. So
So yep, I in a redraft league, I got Mark Andrews, and I picked up Isaiah Likely off the waivers. So
they do play Monday though, so
yeah,
he's got
true.
an extra day.
And I want to say they're on a bye week next week. You know what? My personal
Yeah.
opinion is Mark Andrews ain't playing. That's what I'm thinking. What about you, Kraft?
Yeah, I don't know why they just wouldn't rest him up. And he's your best player. He's your franchise along with Lamar. So I'd rest him, but they slung him out there last week and he got hurt again. But my main question, I mean, if you have Andrews, like you did, Matt, picking up Likely, you're set for Monday. You just make your decision on Monday afternoon.
Right.
But y'all like any of these other guys like Demarcus Robinson or some? I feel like somebody's going to be catching passes. He was out there for 63% of snaps last week and had 6 catches for 64 yards with Bateman out. Is that a waiver wire ad?
I say it's a waiver wire ad, but
I want to see whether or not Deshaun Jackson actually plays. I mean, the
yeah.
fantasy relevance is not there. I mean, at all. I don't think with Deshaun Jackson, at least for this week. But I just want to see if he plays. I want to see if they throw him out there.
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm with Chris on that one. I mean, they don't really have too much. Rashad Bateman. Listen, man, as far as Rashad Bateman goes, that's a buy low candidate in Dynasty for me, man. If I can try to swing Rashad Bateman in a buy low, I ain't gonna pay too much for him, but I wouldn't mind having the number one guy. He's clearly the best. But the thing is when you do that, you gotta think Baltimore's gotta get a receiver in this next draft. You would think so. Yeah, but shoot, New Orleans, Andy Dalton been balling out. He's a nice little super flex play. Might even be a nice little streaming play. Kamara, you're obviously playing him. Learned today, MT, Michael Thomas, out for the year. He's probably not coming back. So Chris Olave to the moon, man. Shout out to David for giving up a first-round pick for Michael Thomas. Probably one of the goofiest moves I've seen. I've seen goofier, though. But Olave to the moon. Chris, what's your thoughts on this New Orleans offense?
I got to see what Andy Dalton's going to do because I know in the video the other day I said Andy Dalton was the one that surprised me the most out of them older quarterbacks. But look, man, he scored all them points that week. He threw 2 pick sixes within 2 minutes on that drive that he came back and drove all the way down the field. But obviously, no Michael Thomas. That's going to hurt. I mean, I know David would give you a lot of shit for doing that and stuff, but nobody's arguing that Michael Thomas wasn't one of the best receivers to play the game, But
Right.
I think you're done, man. You ain't
I
playing
am.
the rest of the year. I think you're done. Jarvis Landry, as I said, he may come back, but I want to see these younger guys, Saheed, get out there because now they know for sure, hey, y'all are going to have a role the rest of the year. Y'all are in there. Callaway, y'all are definitely going to be playing. See what they do. Kamara, I don't know.
Kamara's an easy.
That pass defense. I mean, the thing about playing the Ravens, man, their pass defense is terrible. And if you got Kamara in the backfield that can catch those passes and maybe get something going, Kamara might have a big day.
Kraft, you had something to say about MT?
I don't get where the whole debate of he's one of the best of all time was. He had one good year. I mean, he set records that year, but he had one good year, and that's it.
I have to totally disagree with that, man. Totally. That dude right there was multiple years he was better than Julio Jones. Multiple.
Why is it always Julio?
Because he's in the same division.
You,
listen, man, I'm with Falcons fans who say this guy Julio's a top 5 guy all time. There was definitely years where Michael Thomas
he's way up there compared to Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas isn't even. I don't
know, man. I ain't gonna sit there and agree with that one. I can't. But yeah, all right. Maybe all time Julio's better, but we could definitely agree there was multiple seasons where Michael Thomas was better than Julio, right?
No, 1 year, one time, time in his life.
Well,
I want Chris to get his. For some reason, Matt just hates Julio.
I really don't. I'm gonna be honest. He was like my favorite player, but it's like, dude, let's quit acting like this dude's up there with Jerry Rice and stuff. This dude is nowhere near that, man. Nowhere.
Don't lie. You got voodoo dolls of Julio.
I know that he's got a picture saved on his phone of that catch that he missed that went right through his hands because Matt be sending that in the group chat.
Yeah, listen, crap.
Now he should have caught that ball.
The year after we went to the Super Bowl, we played in like the playoffs versus the Eagles. This dude Julio, very last play of the game, has a ball go right in between his hands, and Matt Ryan gets the blame for that. So when we need our guys the most, Matt Ryan was there. Julio couldn't catch it over 5-7 mils out there. Like, come on, man.
At least he was on the field. Where's Michael Thomas been the last 3 years?
You're right.
Well, where's
He's
Julio
been
been
sitting
the
here with
last
You are
3
right.
he could be
years?
sitting in the garage with us.
Shoot,
Julio's
Michael's.
been hurt for a while too.
Well, yeah, we shouldn't even
Yeah,
talk
he
about
has
it.
been hurt for a while because all that production he had in his first 8 years.
Shout out to Matt Ryan for handing that to him. All right. Anyways, Olave, Kraft. Where do you stand with Olave?
I think Olave's great. He's my favorite rookie receiver this year by far, and um, I would love to have him if anybody wants to give him to me.
Well,
He's just out there getting open week in and week out.
what about long term, Kraft? Like, out of all the rookie receivers, would you take Olave over every rookie receiver that came out this year?
Yeah, I would.
Kraft,
He's the
I mean,
best route runner. Yeah, I feel like.
Chris, where you stand on that? Number one receiver from a dynasty perspective on all these guys.
Yeah, because Olave's that guy. He's going to become that guy in New Orleans.
It is crazy how Olave, like, it's like I said, I was deep in that rookie draft, so it's like, to me, it's like crazy how he fell, but he was even considered in like a lesser tier than the guys like Burks and Garrett Wilson and
Now, I
Jameson
think
Williams.
Drake London will break out eventually. Like, he's having a decent season. For his rookie year, he's having a great season. But it's just Olave. Olave is already that guy
He's the
with,
man.
and I got to see what the Falcons are going to do with the quarterback. Because, Marcus Mariota is doing a great job right now. He's doing all right. But y'all got all those weapons. You need somebody that can utilize them.
So Taysom Hill, obviously, if you need a tight end, throw him on in. You never know. He might get a rushing touchdown or something crazy. Sunday Night Football. We got the Tennessee Titans, Kansas City. This is probably one of the best matchups of the week, I would say. Got old Derrick Henry. Basically, this game could go two ways. Derrick Henry could take over, and this could be like a low-scoring affair or whatever, him rushing the ball a lot, or I think Kansas City's just going to run it up on these bums. I guess Tannehill's going to be back starting. I haven't really heard or paid attention to the Titans. But Derrick Henry, that's the only player I want off this team. You're not playing Robert Woods and stuff, are you, Kraft?
Nah, upset alert. Upset alert. Nah,
Yeah.
I ain't gonna choose upset. I'm gonna get an upset in on one of these, but I don't think it's gonna be this one. But
I hear you.
D. Henry is
bad
the
man.
God on that team. Yeah,
I'm with you, Chris. Anybody from the Titans?
If it ain't Derrick Henry, I don't want him.
Yep, agree. So Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes. This backfield right here, Clyde. I think what's the word right now? Is Pacheco still the starter, or what are we doing, Kraft? What's going on?
I don't really. If you say starter, I think they're just saying that he's going to be the first running back out there. But I think it's just a three-headed monster in Kansas City. If it's even a monster, I don't know what to call it. Three-headed. Who knows? But yeah, I ain't really wanting to start any of these guys. Pacheco might have some touchdown upside, but I would treat him kind of like we did Clyde earlier in the year.
Yeah, if you was listening earlier in the season, me and Kraft, Clyde was going off, and I almost started questioning it towards the end of that little run. But we was saying sell if you can. Chris has Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Where you stand on Clyde?
I should have sold a few weeks ago because I got some good offers, but with Jacob stepping up, I'm not really as worried for my team. But Clyde, it's three, like you said, at any point these people could go out here and any one of them could go off in the backfield.
Yeah.
Pacheco, physical runner. He's just been running it up the gut, running people over. Clyde, Clyde is still good. When you watch Clyde play, he's a good back. He knows what he's doing. It's just, Pacheco looks so good for his age and out there. Clyde's not that old either, but Clyde's coming into that last year for this. I just need to see. I just don't think in this Kansas City backfield that you're going to find consistency like you did earlier in the year. I think Clyde's weeks of him doing it consistently every week, it's over with. You may be able to stream one and get lucky.
Right.
But that's about my situation with their Kansas City's backfield right now.
Shoot, just like the backfield, the wide receiver core is always up in the air too. It's funny for this offense to be so good. It's like you don't want none of these guys, but it's like except for Kelsey. But Juju, Valdez, Scantling, Hardman had 3 touchdowns last time they played. Kadarius Toney's expecting to play some. I mean, I wouldn't be playing him, even if you're higher on Kadarius Toney than me and Kraft are. I still wouldn't be throwing him in, acting like this dude's about to go off. I do think for dynasty wise, though, Juju and them might not even be back. It's gonna be that wide receiving core is gonna be like Kadarius Toney, Sky Moore. I think Scantling's gonna be there though, but he's no threat. So it's like, anything to say about this wide receiving core, Kraft?
They're you just don't know what you're going to get week in and week out. Either you have to start all of them or bench all of them, really, except for I'm with Juju right now. I mean, I think I keep rolling with Juju, but as far as Scantling and Mecole goes, like, I have no idea. Like I said, just start them if you need to in your flex spot every week or bench them every week.
Well, shoot, I got a question for you then, because I'm in a little pinch. Like, it's funny because there's like a couple people in my home league. They just complain about injuries every year. I'm like, look at my injuries. Look at my luck. Who would you play? Mecole Hardman or Julio Jones this week? They saying Julio's going to play. They saying he's going to play. So where do you stand on that one, Kraft?
Mecole Hardman. I'm going Mecole. You're talking about an old ass Julio Jones who is just done.
Oh,
I mean, he is done. He's cooked, man. He's cooked. But
he's a generational career. Man, he's a generational talent, man. But the thing is, though, it's so funny. I set my guy Jordan up because he loves him some Julio. He always calls him a generational player. I was like, all right, well, I'll give you Julio Jones for John Mechie. He's like, I ain't doing that. I was like, wow, you wouldn't even. This dude's got leukemia, and you wouldn't even get him to me.
Oh my God.
Oh Lord, man. But I'm
gonna bring up Julio's stats. Next episode we do, I'm just gonna have a whole segment on just all the great things Julio's done.
And when you do, I'm gonna bring up Matt Ryan's stats. I'm gonna be like, this guy was the one throwing it to him. I ain't seen Julio do it without him. So, Eric, can I get a fax? Can I get an amen?
No. Matt, if you're talking about Matt Ryan carried Julio, that's not even close, man. He could have gone anywhere.
Julio couldn't even stay on a roster without Matt Ryan.
He was old.
Matt Ryan was old.
He's old. He was done.
Matt Ryan did some work before Julio. I don't know why. We just need to. But shoot, yeah. Anyways, Kelsey's pretty much the only reliable source you got out there, and I would love to play Kelsey. Shoot, we'll go through. Let's see what the next one is real quick. The Indianapolis, New England, whatever the over and under is, I'm probably going to under. These two teams stink. Sam Ellington's your quarterback. Jonathan Taylor, though, this is part of the news, Kraft. You said it before we hopped on. You don't think he's going to play. I'm leaning that way, too. I don't think he's going to play. He just got downgraded to questionable. Dude's killing my redraft team. I knew I should have went CMC with the 101. What you think, Kraft?
I don't want to go back to all the episodes because I know exactly what I said about CMC. I said, if you want to take CMC number 1, that's fine, but you a brave soul. And, Jonathan Taylor was the worst pick in the first round of the draft. I thought about every single one of them. I was like, I could have picked anybody else and have been fine. But what do you think, Chris? You've been hearing us argue about Julio for the last 10 minutes. What do you think about JT?
I don't know. I don't think he's gonna play. But as we were talking right there, I noticed that Deion Jones was still on our waiver wire, and I just went and put in a claim for him if he's not playing.
You mean Deion Jackson?
Yeah, Deion Jackson.
He's on our waiver wire, Chris?
Yeah, Will dropped him. No, Will dropped him.
Hey, listen, I know Jordan Harris ain't listening, and the thing is, Kraft, I know Jordan Harris ain't listening. Your boy Matt Hamm's number 2 in that waiver priority, so I already know I'm about to have Deion Jackson. Let's go. Oh, man, here we go.
Hey, didn't they just get Zach Moss? You ain't scared of Zach Moss?
Man, not really, but...
Not really.
I don't know, man. It is funny because sometimes Zach Moss gets on the field and he looks okay, but... Anyways, Michael Pittman... I mean, obviously you're
Ooh.
starting him, but I don't know,
Yeah.
man. We just had a trade go down where a dude traded Michael Pittman for Sutton.
Sucky for sucky. While we're on Sutton, tell Dunk every time Jerry Judy catches the ball to stop messaging my phone. He's like,
Well,
Judy, so much better than Sutton. I'm like, bro, he just caught one pass, man. Come on.
Kraft, man, you got 9 people in that are listening to this probably saying, "Amen, Kraft, amen." We get the things every day, man. It's like, dude, the man
You
had 6
might get a
grabs.
text now. AJ Brown just caught a big pass.
That
Yeah.
man, it's like, dude, listen, this is the facts about the Judy situation. That man is pretty much benefiting from terrible quarterback play because he's just catching the ball near the line of scrimmage and stuff all the time. Like, he ain't that good. The dude's not even in the top 24 yet. So it's just like, come on, man. Sit
Yeah, I
down,
ain't
Dunk.
gonna admit nothing till the end of the year. I'll give him his credit if
No.
Judy ends up finishing better, but I mean they're both sucky right now.
Yeah, that's
Really,
all
I
I'm about
mean
to say.
Judy's been
Dunk,
okay, I guess, for the last
Dunk for
couple of games.
sure. Yeah, Dunk for sure wins the argument. He won the debate. They both fast though, so it don't matter. But if you want to, I'll give you Kadarius Toney for Jerry Judy though, Dunk. Oh snap! Jalen Hurts done fumbled. All right. What else we got?
Oh, come
Alex
on.
Pierce. Any love, Kraft, for Alex Pierce?
No, I don't know. I ain't.
Just the dynasty stash.
Nah, Sam Ellinger back there. I just don't. Yeah, just a dynasty stash. Would you drop him in a redraft with this
Yeah.
quarterback play?
Hell yeah. There ain't no doubt about it. New England. You know, Mac Jones looks like he's the man. Ramondre Stevenson is really the guy that I really want the most. That dude is a top 10 running back right now. Obviously, you're playing Ramondre Stevenson. I think it always just comes down is, do you trust Bill? I don't trust Bill, but I do think even Bill can see that, Ramondre Stevenson is your best running back. But Jacoby Myers, too, your boy, Kraft. I know you love you some Jacoby Myers. He's also been a good play. Chris, you got any love for these New England guys?
Well, I like Ramondre. I think Jacoby Myers might have a really good game against the Colts. Mac
Yep.
Jones goes out there, and Ramondre is not immediately just dominating in the run game. They may resort to start throwing the ball, and once they start throwing it to Jacoby Myers, he may just start catching a bunch of passes back to back to back with Bill's offense. So
Yeah.
PPR, I think it looked good. Kraft had said that Jacoby Myers, you don't really get a better flex play than that. Definitely leaning towards that this week.
Kraft, what
Yeah.
you say on these guys?
Jacoby Myers and Ramondre, and that's about it for me. I don't think I'm going to even roll out Damian Harris out there. He's questionable right now too to start. But he really hadn't been doing a whole bunch since his injury. He played 41% of snaps, got 11 carries last week, 2 catches. Yep. But I mean, if he got 40%, Ramondre, if he's getting over 60% of snaps, that's just fine. Right. And catching passes. So,
yeah, definitely the best player on the New England Patriots. Definitely. All right, next we got Tampa Bay, LA. Kraft, you said it before we hopped on. This would have been a good game last year. Now these guys just barely holding on, man. First of all, Kraft, who do you even think wins this game, man?
I was going to ask you that question because you said last time that you're not putting your money on the Rams again. Are you going to put your money on the Rams again?
Hell no, man. I'm just gonna stay away from putting a winner on this one. I don't know what I'm gonna have to look at the lines because obviously I'll look at the lines and then it might entice me. I'll be like, all right, we'll go with the Rams one more time. But I don't know, man. Tom Brady, it's like I just can't
3.
make them. Yeah. Oh, it's 3. The Rams are favored
to Tampa. No, Tampa's favored at home by 3.
I'm gonna have to talk with. I'm gonna have to talk to the
poor
Rams man.
Again.
That's a stay away, man. Stay away from that game, man. I don't even want to go near that one. But Stafford, just ain't getting protected. But we said it last time. The O-line is just bad. But if it ain't Cooper Kupp, I don't really want it. I have to play Allen Robinson this week, so maybe some of y'all have him you need him in a flex play or whatever. I wouldn't want to though. Wouldn't want to do it. I just have to. Other than that though, Higby at the tight end spot. There's nothing else I want really other than Cup in that offense. Do y'all agree? Disagree?
I agree 100%.
So just
And
Cup. That's it.
I know you've been talking about Van Jefferson a little bit. He's did he come back
Yeah.
last game? I'm not really
Yeah, he
sure if
come
he
back
did.
last game. He played like 50% of snaps. He had 0 targets, 0 receptions. But it's just a wait and see approach. This offense just if it was a high powered offense with if Robinson was doing something, and you just don't want the third receiver on a terrible offense. I
Right.
mean, until I see something change, Van Jefferson just belongs on the waiver wire for now.
All right. So but on the other side, we got old Tom Brady. Listen, man, I have Tom Brady. That dude has let me down so much this year. I hadn't even been starting him lately, so I wouldn't start Tom Brady unless you had to. But we got Leonard Fournette. You know, I think he's been. Let's see. Let me look at his past couple games. Okay, he had 14 last game, but he had 4 against Carolina when they just got straight up smacked. But Fournette, you're obviously playing. Rashad White, I've been saying stash all year. I still believe that too. Stash him. I think he looks good. But Mike Evans, Godwin,
Yep,
those are pretty
run
much all.
down.
Yeah, those are your guys.
Yep, easy
Mike
enough. I would say that's about it right there. I mean, you're definitely starting Evans and Godwin.
Godwin, my
What do you think,
guy.
Chris? Is there anybody else? Anybody else like you?
To
Russell
monitor,
Gage?
no, not with the way that this Bucks offense has looked as of late. I mean, Mike Evans, he's been limited in practice, but they're saying he's probably going to play.
Yeah,
Fournette,
He'll be
Fournette
out there.
looked
Mike Evans
Fournette,
always
man.
plays.
The fact that he didn't do that against Carolina, like he only put up 460 against us. I was watching that game as a fan, like, how the hell are we just swallowing this dude alive and he's not doing nothing against us? Literally, like when we were talking about Tom Brady and the drops that he was having in that game against Carolina, Mike Evans dropped the pass. It would have been a touchdown on like the third play from scrimmage.
Yeah.
Uh, they just got to I mean, you got Tom Brady and you got all these weapons. I want to see it come to fruition. I want to see it look good because when it
Um,
looks good, it's great.
Chris Godwin has had double digit targets 4 out of the 5 games he's played. So I love me some Chris Godwin. I tried to get Chris Godwin today and I couldn't do it. But yeah, Julio, we've been talking about him too much this episode. Uh, you're not playing him. I
Just
mean, Chris, I bet Kraft said Miko over Julio, so you definitely ain't playing Julio. Let's just move on to the next game, man. Seattle, Arizona. This is gonna be a pretty good game. Seattle, I believe, is winning the division, which is Kraft old Mudbutt said Seattle was a sleeping giant. So
he did
he
too. He
did.
called it.
And here they are, 5-3, going against Arizona, who other than a couple games, I hate watching Arizona. The reason why I say I hate watching Arizona play is because they're not buttoned up, man. That dude, Cliff Kingsbury, that team is not buttoned up at all. But what you call it? Geno Smith. I'm playing Geno Smith in a 1 quarterback league too. It was between him and Derek Carr. Obviously, I'm going Geno Smith. Kenneth Walker. I wanted to ask y'all a question about Kenneth Walker today. I don't know if I probably have brought it up in the past episodes, but where does this dude stand in the dynasty ranking? Like, I think there's a debate. Whatever tier 1 is, I think there's definitely a debate. Kenneth Walker could enter tier 1, if not one of the top guys in the tier 2. Kraft, what do you say?
I mean, we were talking about Brees Hall before he got injured, saying that he was probably top 5. And I think Brees Hall's a little bit better athlete than Kenneth Walker, but I've always loved Seattle's running backs because Pete Carroll runs the hell out of the ball. He's on the edge of top 5 running backs. I mean, he's out of it now. So there's an open
Yeah.
spot filled in with him. I mean, that's just my opinion. Chris is more into dynasty. He knows a little bit more than me. What's your opinion on him?
Who are we talking about?
Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, no, Kenneth Walker, he looked good. Now, if you remember in the Dynasty League, I traded for Chris Carson like at the end of last year. And then
Yeah.
I was like, man, this dude retired, man. I was like, damn. But I mean, I've since turned my team around since that. But Kenneth Walker, he looks really good, man. And Pete Carroll, he runs the hell out of his running backs. I mean, Pete Carroll, you didn't run your running back on the one play that would have won you a Super Bowl, but I mean, other than that, he runs the hell out of your running backs. Uh,
Yeah.
Geno Smith, I have said that I always thought Geno Smith was one of the biggest draft busts because he was so bad whenever he came into the league. I remember, I think he was playing with Rex Ryan and the Jets, and he threw like 4 or 5 interceptions, and they just put him on the bench. And I was like, Jesus, about time. But for this dude to get another shot to come in here and he's playing like this and he's doing good. I mean, and he is humbled whenever you hear him talking about it that he's doing this. I think the Seahawks look good. It's sleeper. They're at the top of the division. I mean,
Yeah.
see what they can do.
DK Metcalf had that injury last week or whatever, and he just came back super early and got a touchdown, had 10 targets, 6 receptions. So DK, I think I seen he was upgraded to healthy today. I know in real life, there's no way that dude is healthy though, man. But that dude's a beast, man. I got to give Metcalf a lot of credit. I'm gonna definitely take an L on. I'm gonna say it. He's the number 25 wide receiver, but it feels like I've taken an L on Metcalf this year. Lockett, he's in PPR leagues. He's number 12 right now, which is insane. Definitely taking an L on. I'm just taking an L on Seattle. Period. I didn't think their offense was gonna look this good. What you think, Kraft?
Seattle's pretty. I feel like they're pretty easy with whom to like start and sit. There really isn't any sleepers out there at the tight ends. I'm not really messing with Noah Fan or
Not even Disley?
whatever Disley. No, what? Never Disley. Never Disley for me. The thing about going over to Arizona, man, you got your main guys over there too. Connor has been limited this week, so I would say if he's out, maybe Eno. But Rondale Moore is the one I want to talk about.
Yeah, go for
I
it.
think I think you should start him in a flex play. Probably, especially this week. He played 99% of snaps last week, 7 receptions, 92 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, he's playing out of the slot. AJ Green and all them, Dortch, whoever, they play on the outside. They're not getting any. They're not even in the game plan. It's Hopkins and Rondale Moore. So, especially in a PPR league, I would probably play Rondale Moore over, I don't know, my boy Jacoby Myers. That would be tough. I'd say right in that range somewhere.
So definitely some high praise for Rondale. Chris got Rondale. I traded him Rondale Moore back in the day. Everybody thought Chris was crazy, but Rondale Moore's looked good. Chris, what you say?
I'm starting Rondell Moore this week in that flex spot, like Austin's talk about. I'm running with him. He looks good, man.
Yeah.
So people look at me funny, man, but think when I see Rondell Moore, I think like Tavon Austin type player. Brandon Ayuk really kind of plays the same as Rondell Moore. They can be ran kind of anywhere, especially with the backfield issues that they've been having. Eno's looked really good in some games, but then in other games he doesn't really look good. Connor is not as explosive as he was last season. He's limited. Even if he comes back this week, I don't think you play him because I think that even if he does come back, he's just going to be worked back in just gradually. Rondell Moore, though, I'm holding on to him. I'm playing this week. I'm thinking he can have a good one. He dropped another tutty, one that could have been his second touchdown last game. Hopefully, he can get the targets in this one.
Not
Yeah.
much to say about our boy D Hop. He's had double-digit receptions 2 weeks in a row. So obviously you're rolling with D Hop out there. I just want to say real quick, got to monitor James Conner's situation. He's been, I think they're saying a game time decision. I think he's been a game time decision like, I don't know, 3 weeks in a row or something like that. So as far as like Eno Benjamin goes, I would play him if I can. If James Conner's out. As far as dynasty goes with Eno Benjamin, I feel like we're super monitoring in this situation. Like if somebody offered me a second for Eno, I'm doing it today. But he's only been in the league 2 years, so it's like he could have a year where he could be the starter on this squad. I don't know. I know they just signed James Conner, but I ain't ever really been that high on Conner. He was very touchdown dependent last year. I knew his touchdown production, but I mean it's a health thing this year, but there was no way he was going to score that many touchdowns last year as he did last year. If he did, that would have been insane. But next we got what do we got next? We got Minnesota, Washington. Oh, you got something to say about the last one, Kraft?
You starting James Conner if he plays though in this game?
Chris,
if he's
you
back
got him?
and they say he's ready.
No,
You're not.
I'm not. I'm
Chris
not
says
starting.
no.
I
Him
think
or
even
Brian
if he comes
Robinson.
back.
Yeah. What about that,
Yeah.
Chris?
Hold on, let me see. Who they playing?
Washington's playing Minnesota.
That is a tough one.
I would roll with James Conner at that point.
I think, yeah. I feel like their offense is going to, if he's healthy, I think D-Hop opens up this whole offense. So there's going to be more scoring opportunities for him. If he's back healthy, I'm going to put him out there. But you got to keep up with the practice reports if he's going to be limited or not, because that's kind of the main thing with me.
My thing is, I would like to take the approach like we have with a few of these running backs, like let's let them play a game and then let's play them. But that might not be the case, to be honest with you, especially right now. So, next we got Minnesota, Washington, Captain Kirk. I've been starting him in a single quarterback league. Dalvin Cook, number 13 running back on the year. He's definitely stepped it up. Hey, he's been pretty solid all year. I don't know what Michael Mitchell be complaining about, calling Dalvin Cook a bitch and shit. So it's like, I don't know what he's talking about.
That dude literally broke off the other day, broke off like a 50-something yard run touchdown, and then Michael was still calling him a bitch. I was like,
oh, man. But it's like, but he's going through a little tough stretch. I see a lot of red for these next games. I know he's got Washington, but he's got Buffalo, Dallas, New England. So a little tough little stretch. But, yep, Dalvin Cook, Madison, playing Madison in a flex play, Craft, if you need to.
Definitely not. Madison's nothing but a handcuff to me. He don't get any work when Dalvin's healthy.
Justin Jefferson, obviously. Thielen, nice little flex play if you have to. I wanted to get Thielen from Jordan Harris the other day. He said I had to give him a first round for him. I said, bye. Yeah, you're out of your mind. Osborne, though, I mean, I know at the beginning of the year, Kraft was talking about third wide receivers. I mean, I just know the only reason I bring him up is because he had a touchdown last week. I ain't sitting there saying play him or anything like that, but maybe a little dynasty stash. Hawkinson, though, just got traded to the Vikings, going against this Washington defense. First game here, Kraft. What do you say about Hawkinson, though?
I'm still saying to give it a week with him. He's a good talent, but I mean, if you want to throw him in there, he'll probably get about 50% of snaps. But one thing I wanted to say about Cook too. You said he has some bad matchups coming up, but one thing I noticed, because me and Trey were going to do a trade, and I was just going to trade Joe Mixon straight up for Dalvin Cook, and I looked at Dalvin Cook's playoff schedule, and in the playoffs, he's going up against week 15, 16, 17. I'll go back to week 14. He got Detroit, the Colts, the Giants, and the Packers. He's got a great playoff run. And Mixon, if you want to do this in your league, you might can trade Mixon straight up. Mixon got Tampa Bay, New England, and Buffalo in your fantasy playoff. So something to think about.
Man, Mixon, he ain't even been that good anyways this year, in my opinion. That joker, it's like, I was fading a lot of these quarterbacks that getting at that age. I should have been fading Mixon the most, is what I think. But let's see who we got. Washington, Heineke's at the helm. Gibson, Gibson's the number 16 running back of the year. 16 points against Green Bay week 7, 20 points last week against the Colts. Kraft, man, where do we stand on Gibson right now, man? We was unsure about him at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I'm still. He's the hardest. He's the hardest player to figure out. I mean, the snap counts ain't there. 36%, 39%, 26%. I mean, it's almost like the Clyde situation where the opportunities ain't there, but the fantasy points are there. So it's so hard to predict.
Yeah.
And he just catching the crap out of the ball too. Seven receptions last week.
Clearly better than Brian Robinson. Do we agree with that?
Yeah,
In real
Chris,
football.
in real football, yeah, I think he is.
Yeah.
Uh,
Antonio Gibson, man, dual threat. He catches the ball. Brian Robinson, they don't involve him in the passing game like at all. They just strictly run him the whole time.
I don't know what the heck Ron Rivera's thinking about that situation. I'm just being honest.
I don't know, man.
Losing my respect for that. Just for that situation alone, you're losing my respect, man. Terry McLaurin, pretty much, in my opinion, the only guy you could play. I mean, last 2 weeks, 18 and 16. So 8 targets both games. Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin has a little rapport with old Taylor Heineke. Damian Pierce breaking one off. Where do you stand on these guys, Chris? You starting Samuel, maybe in a flex play, but I don't really want to. But
I'm not starting Samuel, I don't think. Scary Terry, though. Definitely.
I
I want to
guess,
see Jahan Dotson get healthy and get
yeah,
out there because through the four games that he played, he had one game where he had 3 against the Eagles. The rest of that was all over 10, and in all 3 of those games, he caught touchdowns. Seemed like this dude was becoming an end zone target for a young rookie,
yeah.
and he was getting a lot of targets. I just want to see him play. I know he hadn't been practicing all week. He's probably not playing this week, but if you picked him up in your draft and you've been stashing him, I mean, I think that'll pay off for you in the long run. I think he'd be a good streaming option sometime.
Kraft, what you think, man, about these Washington guys?
McLaurin, you're gonna be playing him, but Dotson, I feel like Dotson's kind of became like the redheaded stepchild in the rookie drafts, where it's just like he's like Tyler Lockett almost. Like nobody even remembers him, and nobody
Yeah,
ever talks about him as far as like the big rookies go. But when he was on the field, he was producing more than a lot of them guys.
right.
But just he doesn't get any. Nobody ever talks about him. I guess because he's with the Commanders, which I totally understand.
Next we got what? Let me see. Buffalo, New York Jets. Um, Josh Allen, obviously the number one quarterback, the best quarterback. Singletary, man, I always had questions about Singletary, but now that Naeem Hines is up in there, what's this backfield look like for you, Kraft?
A shit show.
Right.
I mean, still Singletary is the only one I would start. Now, I
Right.
think I'd still start him in a flex spot because he'll be the in between the tackles guy, probably the goal line back, and he'll still catch a couple balls. But Naeem Hines will probably, once he gets used to the offense, he'll be in on third downs most likely.
Yeah. Chris, you got anything to say about that backfield?
I'm still sticking with Singletary at least for this week to see what they're going to do with Naheem Hines.
Diggs, Davis, McKenzie. Kraft called it last week, I think. Shakir, stash him on your dynasty squad, maybe. Diggs is obviously a bad man. Gabe Davis to me is like a Mike Williams type guy, but I would definitely play both of these. I mean, definitely play Gabe Davis. I mean, do you have any reservations about Gabe Davis though, Kraft?
Now, my question with this offense all year has really just been McKenzie, week
Yeah,
in and week out. If he's going to be great or not. He was a sleeper at the start of the year for me, but he makes some boneheaded mistakes every now and again. But he's definitely talented, and you could probably do worse if you were just super desperate. But the other guys we talked about before, Curtis Samuel, Jacoby Myers, Rondell Moore, I'd start all them over McKenzie.
Whew, man. I'm watching this game right now. They just caught a touchdown. The ball is clearly laying on the ground. But anyways, Zach Wilson, bum. I mean, there was a dude on it. I've been kind of looking for him on Twitter. This dude was going on and on about how Zach Wilson was so much better than Trevor Lawrence, and I'm just like, maybe that one week he could have talked, but I ain't seen that guy ever since. I don't know where he's at. Zach Wilson, Michael, but I mean, I was kind of high. I ain't gonna say I was high on Michael Carter, but I don't know, man. This offense is just so bad. There's not one player that I really want to play on this team.
What do you think, Chris? I don't want anybody.
The games that Zach Wilson has played, he's thrown 5 interceptions and 3 touchdowns.
Beast.
I
He's a
mean,
beast.
Good
I
lord.
watched him last week try to throw the ball out of bounds, and he threw it straight to New England's cornerback, and I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
He did it twice. He did it twice.
It was like whenever I watched Andy Dalton throw the 2 pick sixes right back to back, and I was just like, "Oh Lord, this is just terrible football, man." He's got to get it together. He gonna be the franchise back over there. You got to get it together. You got to start using these receivers you got. I don't
Yeah.
want since Brees Hall's gone. I ain't starting none of these dudes.
Yeah, with you. I mean, and there is the talent. These definitely got some talented players. So it's like you got to button it up, Zach Wilson. Quit milf chasing and get in the room and let's play some football. Real quick before we go on, we did do New England and Indianapolis, right? Or
Yeah.
did it?
Yeah, we talked about them.
I don't know how I messed that whole little thing up. So we'll go to Las Vegas, Jacksonville. Man, Derek Carr, man, I don't know what the hell happened to these guys last week. I mean, just a total shit ball out there. Just like, what the hell went on with you guys last week? Shut out, I believe. Just straight up shut out,
They
right?
were.
I mean,
Yeah. And to go on our great gambling episode that week 8, I was like, upset alert. Raiders gonna beat New Orleans.
I mean,
I was
what
watching
in
that
the
game. I was
world?
like, what the hell? What are you thinking, Austin?
Derek Carr, I ain't playing him. I'm just being honest. I even got Geno Smith over him this week. So Derek Carr, send him now. Chris's guy, Josh Jacobs, just a total beast. I mean, number 6 running back on the year. He was quiet last week, but who wasn't quiet for the Raiders last week? Got a good matchup versus Jacksonville this week, so I would say look for Josh Jacobs to perform. Y'all disagree?
Oh, no, I agree. I think Jacob might finish
He's
in the
back.
top 3 of the running backs this week. Jacksonville, they give the 8th most fantasy points to running backs.
Man, Devontae Adams, obviously he had a tough week last week, but when your quarterback's playing like total crap, I mean, honestly, I didn't even watch that game, so I'm like, I don't even know how that happened. It's like, what the hell went on out there for y'all to do
Popped up on
that?
Red Zone every once in a while, and then it was just like, oh man, stop showing this game, man.
I mean, what the hell? Crap, man. Do you have any insight of what the hell happened in that game?
I know Derek Carr threw for 101 yards all game. I mean,
Jesus Christ,
it was just,
man.
I think it was just one of them games
I
where
might
they
be able
just
to do
get
that.
off the bus, man. Every team has a game like that where it's just like, y'all remember when the Chargers played Jacksonville earlier this year and they just got hammered?
Yeah.
I mean, it was just like one of them games.
Yeah.
Hunter Renfro, he is not startable, man. Not startable. We can agree with that, right?
Yeah, I guess I gotta say it now. I haven't been starting him or nothing or telling people to start him, but would you drop him?
I'd drop him. There's no way I would play that guy at this point, man. Yeah, and then crack double digits. I'm a Hunter Renfro guy to the core. I love me some Hunter Renfro, but sheesh. Anyways, Trevor Lawrence, my thing is he's a quarterback 9. My thing about the Jacksonville Jaguars is the offense looks all right. They just don't know how to win football games yet. So the record don't look good. But the offenses look fine. Travis Etienne, I mean, all right, what about this Kraft in the dynasty ranking? I guess, well, heck, I'll ask Chris this since it's a dynasty question. Who do you want? You want Travis Etienne or you want Kenneth Walker?
That is a tough one. But I gotta go with ETN, man. I have to. Look at the way, if he even comes close to producing how he did at Clemson, even close.
I mean, I try to tell people, man, that dude ETN was definitely the best running back in the country for 3 straight years, man. There's no doubt about it.
I feel like he did kind of get slighted with the James Robinson, with James Robinson gone though, all my questions for ETN are out the window, are gone. He has no, I mean, Jermichael Hasty, y'all see him contending, Snoop Connor contending with him for snaps.
No.
He's already got that rapport with Trevor Lawrence because he played with him in college. Uh,
Right.
just want to see this offense look good. I want to see Trevor go out. I mean, as highly scouted as he was coming into the NFL,
Are
that
we
first year didn't look that great. I want to see it happen. I want to see Trevor Lawrence like everybody wants to see Trevor Lawrence.
right? Same. I'm with you, and it's like I said, this dude went to Jacksonville. It's definitely going to take time. That's why I really don't want to like count Zach Wilson out all the way, but it's like, dude, you can't be that bad. But anyways, Jacksonville, Christian Kirk. Obviously, you're playing Christian Kirk. Uh, my opinion, Evan Ingram. I mean, it looks like they literally making an effort to get him the ball. So I'm playing Evan Ingram if I got him. I mean, Evan Ingram with Kyle Pitts, Kraft.
Evan, unfortunately, it's Evan Ingram.
Yeah. So yeah, but Jacksonville, I like the offense. I like what y'all are doing. You just got to learn how to win some football games, and
Wow.
it's hard to do. But next we got Green Bay, Detroit, your Green Bay Packers going
Woo.
against these Detroit Lions. Go ahead and give us some insight on this game, Kraft. You know this division inside and out.
The Lions still suck. Green Bay's gonna win this game. We're gonna win. We're gonna win one. I hope they're favored by 3, and I don't really know why, but defense. I mean, Detroit's defense is god awful, and so is the Packers. I would look for Jamal Williams, DeAndre Swift to go berserk. I don't know if Swift's all the way healthy. I've heard a
Practiced in
lot of
full
things.
today, I
He's not.
seen. Swift did practice
Okay.
today.
I did see something where what's the coach's name over there? Dan Campbell said something about we gave him too many carries last week. DeAndre Swift had 5 carries last week.
Yeah,
So
I'm
that
starting to
scares
think
me.
Dan Campbell's a bit of an idiot. Uh he's just a hard knocks. He's just like your weight room coach type guy. Like get him out of I don't know, man. Give DeAndre Swift the ball for crying out loud. I mean, DeAndre Swift said he's ready for a bigger role. But with that said, Jamal Williams, I got both on my team. I've been playing them both. I played them both last week. So,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
I'd start him, and Green Bay's cornerbacks, their secondary is still okay. They got eaten up by the Bills in the first half of that game last week, but as far as like Diggs had a decent game, Gabe Davis did nothing. None of the receivers for the Bills last week, and really for Detroit, I would say Amon Ra is your only viable receiver start. And on Green Bay side of the ball, Aaron Jones is in your lineup.
yep,
AJ Dillon, don't even think about it. I don't even
nope,
care about the matchup. I'm gonna say don't think about it. But
agreed.
Alan Lazard, if he plays, I would definitely play him, and that's about. If you want to take your shot with Dobbs, I don't know what you're gonna get. So he might drop 4 balls. He might catch the most beautiful touchdown pass you ever seen.
Hey, I'd put Dobbs in versus this defense if I could. Chris, you want to say anything about these guys?
Amon Ra. I want to see Amon Ra start going off
Yep,
again.
that, pretty
Green
much their
Bay.
main option. So
Yeah. Jameson Williams, they said he's about a month out from being able to come back.
hey, I called it at the beginning of the year. I think this year is pretty much a red shirt. I don't think he plays this
Yeah.
year, to be honest. And
Yeah,
I
I could
wouldn't.
see
They're
that.
1-6, man.
Yeah.
Let this guy sit. Bring him in next year and see how it goes. But let Amon Ra, let him do his thing this year. So next we'll move on to the what we got, Carolina and the Bengals. PJ Walker, you're not really playing him. Foreman. Chris says he's playing him. I think you're playing Foreman because I think there's a lot of buys and a lot of injuries. So I think you're playing Foreman. I know Kraft was talking about the matchups, play the matchups, but
Upset alert. We winning, dude. I don't know what you're talking about.
hey
We about to
man,
beat the Bengals.
hey, I hear you. And the way Joe Burrow looked last week without Jamar, Upset alert says Chris Shirah. So
I don't know, Chris. I don't know.
I
What are
mean,
you cheering on over there, Matt?
man, my kicker had like a 50-yard chance and missed it. Just pisses me the fuck off. I know I'm losing this week to Michael, man. I can't even sit here and deny. There's not a chance when you can barely put a lineup in unless he shoots it. But anyways, DJ Moore, we feeling better about DJ Moore? He does it this game. I'm just gonna be like, I'm gonna just start throwing him in my lineup all the time.
I'm having to
Yep.
start him this week due to bias, but I'm just rolling with it. And I'm just going to say at the back of my head, all right, they got this figured out. And hopefully he goes out there and
Yeah.
performs.
It's like Kraft. We were saying sell him. I tried to sell him. I couldn't sell him. So DJ Moore to the moon, and hopefully he does something this week. But we'll just have to see about it.
Yeah, DJ Moore, Pittman.
DJ Moore.
I'm gonna say Pittman, even though he's with the backup quarterback. I'm gonna still roll with Pittman. Joe Burrow. Hopefully he bounces back. Joe Mixon, I'm fading Joe Mixon. Obviously, you're starting him, but I'm starting to be a little weary of Joe Mixon. I mean, I know he's the number 10 running back of the year, but it's like that's in PPR leagues. It's like he had like last week. I was watching this game. This dude had 12 PPR points. He was trash last game, man. Trash. So it's like I don't really feel too good about Joe Mixon right now from a dynasty perspective. Last year would have been a good chance to. You know what? I'll probably just take the L. I think I was kind of high on Joe Mixon. I ain't gonna say I was high on Joe Mixon, but I was higher than this. T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, Hurst, you're playing them all. Do y'all disagree?
No.
I don't disagree. But with Mixon, I just traded for him in Dynasty. I traded Gabe Davis for him.
Oh man, I don't know if I'd have done that.
Hey, I like it. I need running backs, and I think I'm a little different with Mixon. I think he's a buy low candidate right now. He's had more carries inside the red zone than any other running back. He's averaging 3.3 yards a carry. What a bum! But got running backs hard to come by in Dynasty. So I needed one.
Kraft says it's a nice little buy low candidate. I actually I ain't gonna say I like it because I think he might. I'm starting to think he might be washed, but I see where you're coming from, and I'm with you, Kraft. I wouldn't, buy low if you want to. Chris, you got any words on these Bengals?
They should smack us 7 ways to Sunday comes. I mean, they should. I mean, every single one of these players could be a viable. You could put in and they could go off. But 2 weeks ago, they did hold Leonard Fournette to 4 points.
Right.
It's just you don't know what you're gonna get whenever Carolina goes out there.
So it's like Chris said, they on upset alert, but they should smack them. Tough one. That's a
I'd
tough
probably
one.
take the over in this game too, because I think this might be a high scoring game.
Yeah, I wonder what that line is. Y'all ain't got it in front of your face though, do you?
I don't.
Well, oh well. All right, man. Let's next we got Miami, Chicago, Tua, bad man. We talked about him earlier this week. Me and Chris was a little bit higher on him than Kraft in a dynasty. We were talking about him in a dynasty. Obviously, you're playing Tua. Mostert, I'm gonna say you're obviously starting Mostert this week. Jeff Wilson coming there this week doesn't face that at all. Tyreek, I don't even want to talk about Tyreek. He's just so damn good. Jalen Waddle though, y'all say what y'all got to say about Miami, but I got some questions about old Jalen Waddle. But y'all go ahead. Anything to say about this offense, Kraft?
Not really. I mean, they're just really good, and they're one of them teams where you got your main guys, and then there really aren't any side chicks. So,
Right. Chris, you got anything to say about them guys?
Well, the same way. I mean, if you're a team right now, and especially like fantasy relevancy, your wide receiver duo that you got, one is the number 1 in PPR, and the other one is the number 5 in PPR. I mean, you're doing something right.
Yep, and the offense was just straight up going for it. But I got a Waddle question for y'all, man. Where is Waddle in dynasty rankings? I mean, I had him at like 12 or 13 last year. coming into the year, I'm starting to wonder. How about this? I guess I'll ask Chris first. Chris, three guys: Waddle, C.D. Lamb, A.J. Brown. Which guy do you want up at the top?
See, that is tough.
Kraft, same question to you, man. Waddle, C.D. Lamb, A.J. Brown, and the dynasty.
I would take CD, then AJ Brown, and then Waddle.
I'm gonna
AJ
go.
Brown and CD are close, but I think Waddle's behind them.
I'm
It's
gonna go AJ, Waddle, then CD.
To me, it's tough, man. I
It is
honestly,
tough.
those three right there, I'm not even gonna give a definite answer right now because I'm gonna be honest. I might
We'll
lean
figure it out
Waddle. We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna get our
after
little
this season. After this season plays out and everything, when we do our rankings, we will have it
yeah.
figured out.
But I'm gonna be honest. At the top of my head, I want to say Waddle as the number three, right behind Justin Jefferson and Jamar. But Waddle does have Tyreek too, though, so I like to keep that in account as well. So those three are just super tight, in my opinion. You know it could go either way, but yeah, obviously Miami. Look for them to just blow up versus Chicago. Justin Fields. I guess you playing him. I mean, I've been down on him for a while, but Justin Fields, throw him on in. A super flex. He's in a super flex because, by the way, I was saying you shouldn't even play him at a super flex a few weeks ago, but you're obviously playing in a super flex. Maybe a good streaming. I wouldn't roster him, but maybe streaming him, he might be all right. Montgomery, Herbert, where do we stand on that backfield, Kraft?
I've I've been trying to trade Herbert in Dynasty, and that's not saying that I think he's going to end up taking over that backfield. And I'm usually not the one who's the Dynasty guy who's always picking the young guy over the older guy, but this situation right here, Khalil Herbert looks amazing. I mean, and Montgomery doesn't look bad, but you know, I would probably start. You might can get away with starting both of them this week.
Chris?
I'm the same way. Khalil Herbert just looks so much better than Montgomery, and I do think that that'll happen. I know there's a trade in our league for who got did Will was it Will that Wayne got him?
Dang, I missed that one, man.
Yeah.
Went and got Khalil
Uh,
Herbert.
it was either him or Micah got him. One. But yeah, I mean, I think Khalil Herbert's going to take over. Other than that, though, I mean, Justin Fields and them, that's about all I'm putting up there for this.
I
I
thought,
wouldn't go with any of the receivers for
yeah.
Chicago.
I thought Khalil Herbert's looked better than Montgomery for 2 years straight now, though. So, I'll know where I stand on that. I think Montgomery's just been a volume running back kind of guy. So, but Khalil Herbert looks good. Mooney, I mean, I don't know, man. Mooney, he's like a borderline flex play. I would not want to play Mooney, but you might you might have to, man. No, this offense is just pathetic. Period. I don't really look nothing past the running backs.
Yeah. I got, a couple names to throw out for y'all for Khalil Herbert. Khalil Herbert or Michael Carter versus Buffalo?
I think I'm rolling with
Who
Khalil Herbert.
What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, Khalil Herbert.
AJ Dillon, Detroit.
Nah, that one ain't even close to me, man. Khalil Herbert.
Yeah.
One more. I'm gonna find a good one. Let's see. Antonio Gibson, Minnesota.
Look, I'm gonna say Gibson, but it's close. And Rivera, you need to get it together and start playing Gibson over Brian Robinson.
I'm gonna say Gibson as well because I think that game might be high scoring.
Yeah, they're all tough. They're all kind of tough, except for that AJ Dillon one. That one ain't tough for
That's
me. But I got AJ Dillon in my little dynasty league with the fam, and I pay attention to that league less than all of them. And I was like looking at, I'm like, I've been starting AJ Dillon this long. I had to sit him on the bench, man, costing me, making me
terrible.
look dumb. But what else? That's all we got to say. I mean, Mooney Claypool doesn't really do anything for me, especially this week. We'll have to just see down the line, though. I mean, maybe because Justin Fields, he could throw a deep ball, and
Been trying to move Claypool this whole week.
yeah, you shoot, man. I'll do it for Brandon Cooks. Chris.
Yeah.
Shoot, next final game of the 1 o'clock. My Falcons going against the Chargers. Mariota beast, man. He is him, according to my guy Jordan Harris. Not even sure what that means. It must be some of the young cat lingo out there that I'm just not familiar with. But number 8 quarterback on the year. This guy's a lot of rushing upside. My thing is with the Falcons is CPAT. They keep saying he's coming back this week off the IR. I haven't really seen anything about him. Honestly, if Cordell's back, I'm just playing him if you have to. I mean, I have to in a league. Algier don't really do it for me. Cordell is just like, he's just different than a lot of other guys. Not saying he's like better than these guys, but he's just older and stuff like that. His situation is like, let's just throw him in. That's how I've kind of felt with CPAT from the beginning. Just even the Falcons, just put him on in. I mean, use him up. You might as well. He's your best player. You don't really have nothing else. Drake London, it's not really an option for me right now. I think he's had a solid rookie year. That's all I can say. I think he's looked good, but he's been in single digits the last 5 games or so. Like he's not really startable. Kyle Pitts, I feel like in redraft leagues, you're starting him because you have to. But I mean, and listen, I gotta say, Kyle Pitts, he got a touchdown last week. It looked like they were designing a few more plays. Got 9 targets last week. 9 targets, even in my opinion, ain't even enough. So that's where I stand on my Falcons. What y'all say?
That's better. Kyle Pitts, that's better. 9 targets. That's kind of what you want to see. But if they can run the ball, they're going to run the ball. And the Chargers are not very good against the run. So maybe they can get that working. And I'm with you with Cordero, unless you just have a really good team and you can avoid playing them. But if you're sitting there, looking at like Darrell Henderson or Cordero, and if he's playing or something like that, or Brian Robinson, I'd play him over them guys.
Right. Chris, you got anything you want to say on my Falcons?
I'm the same way. Cordero's playing. Throw him in there.
Justin Herbert, y'all know where I stand. He's the number 13 quarterback on the year. He ain't gonna have his top 2 guys because I don't think Keenan Allen's playing and Mike Williams sure ain't playing. Eckler though, sheesh, man, number 1 running back on the year in PPR leagues. This dude is just ridiculous. I tried to get him. I just mentioned him to Will Savage today. He said, "Nope, can't do it." He said, I don't blame him. I wouldn't do it neither. So Eckler balling out. You obviously playing him. Good matchup. But wide receiver rise, I'm playing Jordan Palmer if I can in a flex.
Yeah.
That's it. And Jordan Palmer really, I feel like every time we get on this episode and say something about, we should play Jordan Palmer, I feel like he somehow comes through and scores a touchdown or something. You disagree, Kraft? Or
I disagree with the pronunciation of his name, but that's about it.
What's his name?
Joshua Palmer.
That's how you know you low on the list.
You said it. You just kept saying it 3 times. You said it 3 times. I was like, this man's going to say his name wrong as many times as he could possibly
Crab,
get it
you
out.
know what's crazy? When I first started this podcast, you know how often I was doing that shit, like saying wrong names or mispronouncing names and shit.
Well,
like,
see, but you know how see, when I do it on Twitch, it's live.
Yeah.
Like I can't go back and edit it or anything like that. It's live, and I do it all the time. I'll be stoned just sitting there talking about it, and I'll be like,
Well, there's one thing for a fact. I ain't editing it.
We don't edit shit.
This is going out.
That's
This
the best
is going
way,
out.
like.
Josh
That shit
Palmer.
real.
Shout out to Josh Palmer.
Matt sees the edit. I don't think he knows what the edit button is. He's like, fuck edit.
Listen, man, I can edit it some things, but I ain't about to sit there for 2 hours just editing stuff. Like, you getting the real deal, authentic stuff from the Cruise Dynasty podcast. That's all I know.
Yes.
So, and that's
so in the intro, and you're like, shoot.
And I don't even. And the thing is, when I do the intro, I don't even know what I'm gonna say. I just kind of freestyle it. So it is what it is. But that's all the games right there. Kraft, you had some stuff to talk about before we headed out.
Yeah, let's help these folks out with some with some flex options because everybody's got to be starting these guys. And these are the questions that everybody wants answered every week, I feel like. So, Chris, I'm going to let you go ahead. Would you start Joshua Palmer, Jordan Palmer, whatever you want to call him? You start him. You start Rondell Moore.
I'm going Rondell against the Seahawks.
That's you, Matt.
I'm gonna go Palmer this week. He's gonna be the number one wide receiver on this offense. He's the guy. Other than Eckler, though, I mean, obviously Eckler's the guy, but I would go Palmer this week. Most weeks I'd say Rondell, though.
Yeah, I think I'm with Palmer just by a little bit though. But another one for y'all: Allen Robinson against Tampa, or I had his name, or Scantlin against Tennessee.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna have to roll with your boy, Scantlin. I'm playing Allen Robinson this week because I have to play Allen Robinson this week. But listen, if Brandon Cooks was playing, I wasn't playing Allen Robinson. So Scantling, that's the way I roll.
Sticking with what I said the other day. If it ain't Cup, I don't want him anywhere near the lineup. I'm gonna go with MVS.
All right, Romeo Dubs, or let's see, Romeo Dubs or Jacoby Myers.
I'm gonna say Jacoby Myers.
Jacoby Myers. That could be tough if Lazard doesn't play.
Dubs isn't a bad play in my opinion, though, going against Detroit.
Yeah, I don't think it's too bad either. I'm gonna try to hit one more real quick because these are like the guys that I felt like everybody asked me about them, or I'm asking somebody else about them. Like, would I do this or that? So, would you start Duvernay or Darnell Mooney?
Duvernay, easy for me.
Yeah, Duvernay. Rashad Bateman's gone for the year.
I like Duvernay for the rest of the year.
Mark Andrews probably not playing.
Yeah, I know it don't look good.
Darnell Mooney, they average 19.3 passes a game.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
I'm with Chris on that one. Duvernay, all the way. Duvernay, all the way.
Well, them receivers, I just want to hit on that because that's like the main thing in fantasy is who to start and sit, every week. And shit gets tough sometimes.
Yep, man. Shoot, man. Well, I like crap. I'm glad you brought them up because those were some tough decisions. I brought that one up that I'm in, but this is I'll just ask it one more time since Chris is here too. But if you about to ask this question I'm asking, you're at the low of the low of the low. Miko Hardman or Julio, Chris?
Miko for sure.
Hey, Matt, tell them about what the quarterbacks in my Superflex had to ask you about today. You remember?
Oh, man, crap. Bring them up, man. I was laughing after you told me that situation.
All right, Chris, tell me who to start. Now, you can't you already watched this game, though, so I've actually made the right decision so far, I feel like. But
yeah,
my Superflex options are Davis Mills against Philly, Zach Wilson against Buffalo, or Sam Ellinger against New England.
God. Mills probably.
Hey, Mills is putting in work right now. Yeah. I'm so glad that I started Mills.
Definitely made the right decision.
They're hanging with the Eagles defense right now. This is a pretty good game.
2 touchdown passes. It's crazy.
He don't have to score anymore, and he's already.
Jalen Hurts ain't doing shit for me, but at least AJ Brown's not going off, so I'm not getting killed by Duncan.
Yeah, man. If you listen to this, I hope you shoot it. You need to shoot a dud for me this week. Like, I need a bad week.
Even with all, I picked you to win this week just because of Mike's luck, based on his luck alone.
So, all right, then shoot, man. Let's wrap it on out of here, and we'll get those end of the week episodes. We'll do a little recording tomorrow night. Get to people some of that. Those are my favorite ones to do. Right there are the other topics. We got to keep doing these episodes where we break down a recap. I love doing these episodes, but I also like to be at the end of the week and get a specific topic out there. I think we decided we're gonna talk some quarterbacks tomorrow. The running back whisperer broke down some running backs. Me and Kraft broke down some wide receivers. So we'll see who hops on with me and Kraft tomorrow. Might be C Swizzy, might be. You never know. So we'll see. We bring out a squad at the Cruise Dynasty podcast. We got a team here.
The poor
But-
man will be ready about 3 a.m. tomorrow.
Yeah, that got to get a gambling episode out. Poor man, if you hear me, I'll be up for a late night if you want to get some gambling in. So, all right, man. Chris, you got anything to say to the people?
Nah, man. Just, hit me up on Twitch, SwizzyC23.
Hit him up on
I
Twitch.
know I'm waiting to get into the studio and I'm gonna start having some content, more content and stuff come back. We grinding 2K, we playing Madden.
Yeah.
Got God of War coming out next week. I'm probably be hitting that. So if you into that stuff, come kick it.
I'll put it in the description. So you can follow C Swizzy on the Twitch. Crap, man, what you got to say to our millions of fans?
Got to give an update on mine and N's gambling last week. Had to buy him a jersey, $150 David Bakhtiari jersey. I don't understand why he wanted Bakhtiari, but I guess because his number is 69 and he wanted to wear that 69 all around town. So I guess
Right.
I did not want to buy that shit. But if you see him wearing that crap, throw a fucking pie in his face or something.
Man, shout out to Slim Easy. Shout out to Ian. So, all right then, fellas, man. We gonna wrap it on up. Let's get on out of here, man. We out.
Peace.